Hello and welcome to Chicken Bros. My name is David Heath.
And I'm his D-mentor.
This took us a good while, but we're finally here to talk about Weird, the Al Yankovic story. The 100% true to life, not at all fabricated story of Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. So, before any more subterfuge, I should mention that this is supposed to be like a parody, get it, of Oscar bait biopics about musicians. So, it ticks all the boxes about like drug abuse, sexual addiction, being a dick to your tragic ending, being a dick to your band, all that kind of stuff. None of which happened to Weird Al. So, like, he's parodying the genre of film. So, just know that when we explain this, it's not 100% really true to life of Weird Al's life. But there are some nuggets of truth. And, in fact, the very first thing that shows you is actually a true fact, where it shows Al when he was a kid listening to the Dr. Demento show on the radio. That was a true thing. He was a fan of that show.
Dr. Dementor is played by Dwight from The Office, by the way.
Yes, Rainn Wilson. And Al, as a kid, is ridiculed by his parents because he's different. And his dad, who works at this factory, and they never make it clear what they make there.
What do you even make? Like, he even says multiple times, like, what do you even make there?
Like, you'll learn what we make at the factory when you work at the factory.
He's asking what we make here.
And he tells them that his dream is to make up other lyrics to songs that already exist. He starts singing a parody of Amazing Grace called Amazing Grapes. And he's and they start, putting him down for it. And his mom outright says, and I'm not paraphrasing at all, she says, "We think it'd be better if you stopped being who you are and doing the things that you love."
Yeah.
And so one day, and believe it or not, this is actually another true fact, a door-to-door salesman came and sold them a accordion.
Well, it's mostly true. Actually, in real life, he was only offering lessons, not an actual accordion.
Well, yeah, but that is a true thing. A door-to-door salesman came to the house with an accordion, and and in the movie he has Al try it out, and Al's dad beats the ever-loving crap out of the door-to-door salesman.
Look what you do, boy.
And so his mom decides that as long as he practices it in secret, he can have the accordion. And it skips forward to when Al's a teenager and he gets invited to this party, but he has to sneak out, so he puts what's called a hey boy in his bed.
Hey boy, really?
And I'm from the South, and I don't even know what that is. But he goes to this party, and it turns out it's a polka party. Yeah, those totally existed.
Totally.
Well, I'm sure they did, just not in Linwood, California.
Yeah, Germany maybe.
Yeah, Germany maybe. And then there's an accordion there, and all his friends are like, "Play it, Al, play it." Like he doesn't want to at first, so they start calling him a chicken. So he picks it up, and he's like a freaking master at it. And then they all cheer him on, and then the police come swarming in. It's the cops! Like they got drugs or something. And then it cuts to his house. He's brought home by the cops. He's like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but we found your son at a polka party." Like he did something illegal. When he gets chewed up by his dad smashes his accordion against the ground. This movie does its very best to be loud and funny at the same time, and just it's weird because even though it's not none of this, well, I mean, most of it didn't really happen, you still kind of feel for him. And so it cuts to later when he's an adult and played by Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, I'm not joking.
And I was when I first heard about that, I was literally like, really? Harry Potter as Weird Al Yankovic? Can he even do an American accent? And after seeing this movie, he does okay.
Well, I mean,
I'll admit, it is kind of hard to capture Weird Al's essence.
Well, the thing is he's playing a parody of Weird Al. It's not it's a truncated version of Al in a way.
Yeah, but it's also I don't know, it's just the way Weird Al talks sometimes, I don't know if it's to say he has an accent, but he has like this way of speaking, like
he has a particular tone.
Something. I can't think of something that he says because I've only really heard him sing. I've rarely ever heard him talk. But like,
he kind of sounds like Tom Kenny sometimes.
To quote one of his lines from his popular show, Milo Murphy's Law, or was that popular?
Yeah, it was popular.
I watched it and I enjoyed it, but
it's popular.
Anyway, the point where he's like, go on, Dog, go home. He's not supposed to be in the street.
And so Al is rooming with these guys who would eventually be his band members, and they turn on the radio and My Sharona by the Knack starts playing while he's making a bologna sandwich, and then inspiration strikes as if a lightning bolt hit him, and he starts going, my bologna, and he picks up his accordion and starts playing the parody. And I mean, it might have happened like that, you know, inspiration hits you in weird places, but I do know that he actually did record that song in a bathroom, so that part wasn't fake.
Nope.
But I do think this is fake. He sent it into like a radio show, and then literal minutes later, it's the #1 hit. I feel like that didn't happen.
Yeah, nah. It took effort.
Yeah. So he decides to try to start doing song parodies as a career, and he performs this one song he wrote, which is a parody of "I Love Rock and Roll" by who was it?
Joan Jett.
Joan Jett. A parody called "I Love Rocky Road,"
which is not my favorite flavor of ice cream. I'll tell you that right now.
Nah, not mine either. In fact, I'm not even sure how he feels about it.
I love cookie dough. That would be my version.
Nice. I love cookie dough.
That's my favorite flavor of ice cream: chocolate chip cookie dough.
Coincidental that the syllables work there. How about that? And so he performs this at, like, you know, your stereotypical biker bar. Perfect place for accordion music. It goes over very well, and in fact, Dr. Demento was there and says he wants to manage him. And yeah. I love when he's like, we need to give you a stage name, Al Yankovic. It's really long, it's hard to pronounce, so I'm going to throw this out there. Weird Al Yankovic. I love it. And there was this guy, I don't remember who he was playing, but there was this character that Jack Black played.
Who did Jack Black? I think like the Wolfman or the Werewolf or something like that.
Tiger guy or something, I don't know. But he's there at Demento's party, and he's like, he challenges Al to make up something on the spot, and he says, in fact, John Deacon is there, the bassist for Queen, says, do another one bites the dust. And they're like waiting for him to come up with something, and then finally he comes up with another one rides the bus. That's probably one of my favorite of his like earliest work. Another one rides the bus. He's gonna sit by you. Another one rides the bus. And then I think I don't remember what song it was, but I think like he went platinum 5 times, which I'm pretty sure didn't really happen either. And then I think that's when he drops acid by accident.
Which again never happened.
No, Al never touched drugs, but he dropped acid by eating spiked guacamole, and he starts seeing all this crazy crap, and he sees Demento saying, "Would you like a bowl of Captain Crunch?" What? Perhaps a Raisin Bran? No, I don't want no Captain Crunch. I don't want no Raisin Bran. He starts going, eat it, eat it. And then he comes up with eat it. But what's funny is in the movie, he says, I'm not parodying anything. This is a completely original song. Wait, so this is not a parody of any pre-existing song? You wrote this all by yourself?
And in the movie, that's the truth.
Yes, but the reality, and I'm sure most of you know this, that's not the truth. Eat It is a parody of Beat It by Michael Jackson. However, in the movie, they say the reverse, that Michael Jackson wrote a parody of Eat It called Beat It.
And then Al gets all like, Christian has a diva tantrum.
Yeah, he gets like really mad. He's like, beat it. Wait, is it about eggs? No, I don't even think it's about food. It's about a fight or avoiding a fight or something. And also something that absolutely didn't happen to Al was that, well, actually, first of all, something that did actually happen in Al's career is that when he started parodying artists in real life, the artists he was parodying, their music sales went up a lot because of how popular his parodies were. And they refer to that as the Yankovic bump. And the thing that didn't happen is that when Madonna saw this, she started this faux romantic relationship with Weird Al so that she could get a Yankovic bump as well. Mm-hmm. The extent of Madonna's relationship with Al in real life is hardly even a relationship. I think they met once.
Yeah. I mean, he had to at least ask her because he did parody one of her songs.
Well, that's the thing. Like a Surgeon was actually her idea, and then it got back to him, and he's like, actually, that's not bad. I might just do that. But in the movie, she comes to him saying, are you going to do a parody of my song, like a version? And he's like, is that song autobiographical? Yes, technically. Other than the fact that I've had a lot of sex. I mean, okay, then you're not a virgin.
By definition, yeah.
Yeah. And then, thanks to her, he starts spiraling downwards. He becomes an alcoholic. He starts acting like a dick to his band. Classic biopic movie stuff. And he goes drunk driving, gets hit, and then it looks like he's dead for a second, but then he eventually comes up revived. And then, like...
Give me a pen and some paper.
Give me a pen and some paper! And that's when he comes up with Like a Surgeon, performs it live.
The doctor was Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes, there's a lot of crazy celebrity cameos in this movie. And he performs Like a Surgeon live.
And he passes out because he was drunk like fuck.
Well, that and he didn't get the transfusion like he was supposed to.
Yeah.
And then he was going to perform Eat It, but, because of the whole Michael Jackson thing, he didn't want to. This was crazy, because I thought for a second he was actually going to do this. He's on stage, drunk, and he's saying, you want to say it? You want me to whip it out? And I'm like, no, you're not going to... I thought he was going to whip out his little Yankovic. But nope, he just whipped out an accordion. But they treat it as if he did whip out his dick. Like a policeman tackles him and he's all over the news for lewd behavior. What? And then, out of nowhere, Madonna gets kidnapped by, what's his name?
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, he was like a legit, drug cartel guy back in the day, but had nothing to do with Al.
Yeah. Which is funny, because the way they portray him in this movie, hi, I just wanted you to come to my birthday party, reminds me of how they portrayed Saddam Hussein in this movie called Hot Shots Part 2.
I don't think I've part 2.
Yeah, I guess there's a part 1, but I've only ever seen the part 2.
That means 2? Part 2?
Yeah, deux is 2 in French, I believe. Un, deux, trois. Anyway, in that movie, they portray Saddam Hussein he's fighting the bad guy, and the phone rings, and the hero picks it up. Hello, Butcher at Baghdad. Oh, it's your wife. Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I promised to pick her up, but I had to tell her I'm outside. Tell her I had an assassination. Oh, you just missed me. Thank you. I owe you my life. It was hilarious. So yeah, that's what Pablo Escobar meant, because apparently he's a big fan of Weird Al, and he's like, this is the only way I can get you to perform at my birthday party.
Yeah, it was funny because as soon as Madonna's captured, Al becomes a badass fighter who knows Taekwondo and shit.
Which reminds me of UHF, which is a movie Al actually starred in.
Yeah, starred in, helped write, I think. I still need to see that. But
yeah, you do.
He goes into the Cuban jungles and he goes full Rambo. He shows up at Escobar's party and Escobar's like, I want you to perform and then you'll be able to leave. How about you perform that nice parody you wrote? Eat It. He's like, that's not a parody! And starts shooting everybody. And then I think Escobar shoots him and he's supposedly dead. But then he gets back up and he has the platinum things around his neck. Certified platinum. And then he grabs one and goes, hey Escobar, eat it, and then chucks it at his head like a ninja star. What's gross is that he actually pulls it out like, ugh, oh, it's really in there. Ugh, ugh. Like, why would you... I don't know. And then Madonna gets the idea to run the drug cartel, like, because she wants all that power. But that's when he starts to realize that she's been using him.
Yeah.
What's funny is that when he tries to leave, she's trying to shoot him, but she can't shoot for shit.
Yep.
She'd make a great stormtrooper.
Like a stormtrooper, shooting for the very first time.
And so he goes back home to do some soul searching. He actually gets a job at his dad's factory. And like Noah said, he asks the guy there, what do we make? And he just goes, your dad said you was funny. Oh, what do we make here? Like, what?
And his dad is like, what are you doing? If this isn't who you are. Complete 180.
Yeah. He's like, I was wrong about you, son. You were right about your music. And then he opens his work shirt and you see a Hawaiian shirt underneath it.
Yeah, and they have this kind of touch. Oh, but the mom's getting fatter.
Yeah.
I don't know why they...
Well, I mean, I think because like she's like, because she says like, oh honey, you know I'm fat, you know it, and Al's like, what? He doesn't get it. And his dad tells him that the reason he was so hard on him is because he had a very similar dream when he was a kid, but he was raised Amish, and the Amish community wouldn't hear of it. And you know,
they probably wouldn't.
And then, like, he's looking through this, like, sketchbook that his dad drew up, and then out from it comes, like, this lyric book of the song that his dad wrote, and he's like, I wrote it one day hoping to perform it, but I guess nobody will ever hear it. And then Al goes, wait, I got it! Mom, what did you say a second ago about being fat? Like, we're on to something different here, Al. Like, read the room. And then he performs Amish Paradise. There's actually a cameo by Weird Al's real-life wife in the audience. Actually, Al himself is in the movie. He plays his own record label.
Which is funny because, like, in the beginning when he's trying to get first notice, that one guy was like, you know, to be honest, like, Al's character is like this is just not what we're looking for. But then his brother's like, you're a piece of trash, you're shit. Like, dude, chill.
Yeah, I think that was like a little fourth wall breaking joke. Like, okay, take it easy. And then, there was this really awkward moment where Demento tried to adopt Al, which I don't think you can adopt a legal adult.
No, I think once they turn 18, adoption's out of the question.
Yeah, and then Al's like, oh, actually, I made amends with my dad.
Oh, great.
Like, oh, yeah, great, totally. and then Al wins an award in a very oddly specific category, which is like, not technically the best, but possibly the greatest in this very specific genre of music. And apparently it's between him and Prince, which is a funny reference because Prince is the one artist Al's never been able to parody.
Yep.
And, of course, Al wins. And then there's this guy, the sniper in the front row, getting ready to snipe. Yeah! He snipes Al, and the movie ends with, like, this obituary, or, like, kind of like a in memoriam.
Yeah. Which is how a lot of, biopics end.
Yeah.
At least when, like, that's how the Bohemian Rhapsody ended, because it ended with the text saying that Freddie died of AIDS.
Yeah, and that's how the Elvis movie ended. Because they always do these on, like, celebrities that have already been passed away.
Not always. I mean, Rocket Man, Elton John's still alive.
Well, true. Although that wasn't really a biopic. That was more of, like, a musical. But... yeah, they do this thing where it's like Al died in the 80s. His tombstone says born 1950, I don't remember, and then it says ate it in 1985. And then Madonna, who's like this like drug lord now, comes and leaves a rose, and then his zombified hand comes up and grabs her, and that's literally where the movie ends.
Yeah.
And then during the credits, there's a song that's like, it's Al basically justifying. He's saying, "Yes, this all happened. This is how it was." And the very last line of that song, which I think is funny, where he's like, this song's technically eligible for Oscar consideration. I mean, he's right. Technically it is, but I don't think he's going to win the Oscar. No matter how much he deserves it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's as Weird Al puts it, now you know! The very true to life Weird Al story.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was born tap dancing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have 3 eyeballs. The other one you just can't see. Oh, so what would you rate this, Noah?
I guess 8 out of 10 because it wasn't really on my radar and I wasn't like clamoring to see it, but I saw it with you, so it's special.
Right. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 because I liked it for what it was.
It was what it was.
It's very unformed for Weird Al.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll see you next time on Chicken Bros.
Brr.